Indonesia and South Korea sign trade deal through Indonesia-Korea Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement. Astra International sets 2021 capital expenditure of around 20 to 30 trillion rupiah. Good afternoon, viewers in Indonesia and Singapore. Market Headlines is ready to provide you a number of informations from the business, economic, and capital market sectors. With me, Wicky Adrian. This is Market Headlines. Bank of Indonesia's Board of Governors meeting in December 2020 decided to maintain benchmark rate at 3.75%. Beside that, the central bank estimates that economic growth in 2020 will be closed in the negative zone.
After went through 4 international agreements, Indonesia is now signing deal with South Korea through Indonesia-South Korea Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement. Agreement was signed by the Minister of Trade, Agus Suparmanto, and the Minister, Industry, Trade and Energy of South Korea, Sung Yunmong. Agreement covers trade in goods, which includes elements of postal rates reductions, eliminations of custom procedures, trade facilitations, investment, economic cooperations, institutional arrangements, and so on. Regarding the tariff reduction, South Korea will cut 95.5% postal rates for Indonesia, and likewise, Indonesia will cut 92.06% postal rates for the South Korea.
Di pasar Korea, posisi Indonesia juga masih tertinggal dari negara tetangga kita di ASEAN, diantaranya Vietnam dan Malaysia. Melalui ECA-SEPA, Korea akan mengeliminasi 95,54% pos tarif yang mencakup 97,33% nilai impor Korea dari Indonesia. Ini akan menjadi keunggulan berharga dibandingkan pesaing Indonesia yang tidak memiliki FTA dengan Korea.
With this agreement, Ministry hopes that there will be an increase in export as the realizations of investment will also bring economic progress for Indonesia. From Jakarta, Muhammad Olga for IDX Channel.
Sorry for the incorrect lead. The information that you've just watched is the information about Indonesia and South Korea signed trade deal. And next information is in the Bank of Indonesia Board of Governors meeting in December 2021 decided to maintain benchmark rate at 3.75%. Beside that, the central bank estimates that economic growth in 2020 will be closed in negative zone.
Bank of Indonesia's Board of Governors meeting in December 2020 decided to maintain benchmark rate at 3.75%. The central bank also keeps deposit facility rate and lending facility rate unchanged. In the same time, the central bank emphasized its effort in synergizing policy and support various policies in developing optimism of national economic recovery through opening productive sectors, fiscal stimulus acceleration, bank loan distribution, continue the monetary and macro-prudential stimulus and accelerating digital economy. Regarding that condition, the Indonesia's economic growth is estimated to be positive in the fourth quarter of 2020, but still in the range of -1% to -2% in full year 2020.
Untuk mempertahankan BI 70 reverse repo rate sebesar 3,75%. Suku bunga deposit facility juga tetap sebesar 3% dan suku bunga lending facility tetap sebesar 4,5%. Keputusan ini konsisten dengan perkiraan inflasi yang tetap rendah dan stabilitas eksternal, khususnya juga termasuk stabilitas nilai tukar rupiah.
The economic growth is estimated to incline in the range of 4.8% to 5.8% in 2021. The central bank stated that it will strengthen the synergy with the government and related authorities in finding a follow-up policies. From Jakarta, Raharjo Patmo for IDX Channel.
Bank of Indonesia ensures that it has contributed to accelerating the provision of free COVID-19 vaccinations. The central bank calls the remaining 39 trillion rupiah burden sharing proceeds as a budget item that can be used for free vaccinations.
Bank of Indonesia claims to have contributed to accelerating the provision of free COVID-19 vaccination. Through a second joint decree between the Central Bank and the Ministry of Finance, Bank of Indonesia's Governor Peri Warjio revealed that the government still has the remaining funds in burden sharing reaching 30 to 39 trillion rupiah by the end of 2020, which can be used for free vaccination programs. Bank of Indonesia say that not all of these funds will be used in 2020. Based on the 2021 state budget law, funds from direct purchases by Bank of Indonesia can be carried over directly to 2021. The central bank also fully gives up the use of these funds to help fund next year's free vaccinations.
Penerbitan SPN perdana secara langsung berdasarkan KB2 itu juga belum tidak semuanya itu dipergunakan. Saya mendapatkan informasi masih ada sisa sekitar 30-39 triliun rupiah. Dan berdasarkan Undang-Undang APBN 2021 ini, dana yang belum digunakan ini bisa di-carry-over untuk 2021.
Bank of Indonesia ensures that the second joint decree signed on 7 July 2020 will only be valid for 2020, while the first joint decree signed on 16 April 2020 has been agreed to be continued until 2021. From Jakarta, Raharjo Patmo for IDX Channel.
As global economy is now recovering, Core Indonesia analyst predicts that Indonesia's economic growth can reach 6% in 2021. However, it depends on what policy that will decision makers take in upcoming year.
Executive Director of Core Indonesia, Muhammad Faisal, predicts that Indonesia's economic growth in the next year will be able to reach 3 to 6%, above the government's estimations of 5%. Even so, Faisal ensures that Indonesia's economic growth next year is strongly influenced by the policy that the government will take. For example, policies regarding health and economy sector, and these two sectors are the fundamental sectors to recover current economy. For this reason, policy regarding health, such as free COVID-19 vaccines, in the coming year are expected to carried out carefully, especially regarding the safety and effectiveness. If it is carried out well, it will be a momentum to build people's trust.
Nah, hanya saja seberapa besar sebetulnya ekspansi di tahun 2021 ini akan banyak bergantung kepada pemulihan ekonomi domestik dan yang dipengaruhi terutama juga oleh faktor kebijakan. Nah, jadi kebijakan daripada pemerintah yang tepat yang mendukung kepada pemulihan ekonomi ini akan sangat mempengaruhi tingkat ekspansi di tahun 2021. Core sendiri memprediksikan tingkat ekspansi bisa berada pada level 3% hingga 6%.
Beside that, another government's homework is to increase household consumption so that the economy is boosted up. For that, it needs a number of policy directions that are considered functional, which are not only targeting short-term but long-term orientations. For instance, widen up the employment rate. From Jakarta, Ade Firmansyah for IDX Channel.
Market headlines will be right back after the break. Stay tuned.
Seiring dengan penutupan dari Bursa Wall Street, di mana S&P kembali mencatatkan rekor tertinggi sepanjang sejarah, membuat IHSG juga pada pagi hari ini dibuka di teritori positif, pemirsa.
Step 2, pasar masih melihat adanya proses recovery yang terus berjalan.
Sementara di Asia kita lihat berakhir positif juga pada perdagangan Jumat kemarin setelah rilis data ekonomi di wilayah Eropa dan Amerika yang mengalami penguatan.
Saat ini lebih mudah untuk mendapatkan informasi mengenai perkembangan ekonomi dan bisnis di Indonesia dengan aplikasi IDX Channel. Mulai dari berita, makro dan mikroekonomi, politik hingga hiburan. Anda juga dapat berbagi artikel, foto, dan video ke semua platform media sosial yang Anda miliki. Beragam informasi hari ini bisa di-download di dalam aplikasi idxchannel.com. IDX Channel, Your Trustworthy Economic, Business, and Capital Market Channel.
Saya Prisa Sombo membawakan program berita News Screen yang menghadirkan informasi seputar ekonomi maupun juga bisnis dari dalam negeri.
Welcome back. Dating application is on the hype as people are seeking relationship through online. Moreover, the pandemic has shrunk offline chance to meet other singles. Such popularity leads to flocking users. In the same time, the dating application developers gain underlying value of high revenue.
COVID-19 has closed a lot of traditional meeting grounds for singles, but the online way has been open and go beyond. Match Group Incorporation, parent entity of famous dating application so-called as Tinder, expects at least $2.3 billion revenue for 2020. The optimism came as the company's second quarter profit of $103.1 million on the sales of $555.5 million. Even though Tinder is a free application, but it can pull users to be a paid user. Paid users have privilege to play the applications without ads and offer extra features such as unlimited extra likes, super likes, and monthly boosts to increase exposure. Revenue at Tinder rose in July for the third straight month despite increased COVID-19 case numbers and thanks to its paid users. From all sources, IDX Channel.
Yeah, back in my younger years, I do remember that dating means a person with a person in real life, get to know each other, and yes, the rest was in old school way. But now there's a large important cultural shift happening in terms of dating. People now can go on pre-dates where they explore virtual dating for the first time to get to know one another before meeting in real life. Who would have thought before, right? As it turns to a hype nowadays, therefore, in the first graphic, I would like to tell you 5 most popular dating apps in the world. Let's check it out. The most popular dating apps worldwide. We have Tinder with the number of downloads from Google Play Store as much as 2.59 million downloads. Badoo, 1.79 million downloads. Bumble, 0.58 million downloads. Happen, 0.56 million downloads, and MeetMe, 0.55 million downloads. We compiled the data from Statista. And through the graphic, we can see that Tinder wins the dating app war. According to Facebook app login data tracked by Thingnam, Tinder usage is at the highest it's been. In fact, as of this week, Tinder is the most used application via Facebook login, beating out both Spotify and Candy Crush Saga for the first time. Tinder is used in 190 countries and is available in 40 languages. Because of the popularity, which means large market, Tinder knows how to deal with it. Even though Tinder is a free application, but the company pulls in revenue from offering users premium subscriptions of Tinder Plus and Tinder Gold. The paid users will have benefit of playing the app without ads and offer extra features such as unlimited likes, extra super likes, and monthly boost to boost their exposure. Because of this benefit, 5.9 million Tinder subscribers pay for a premium Tinder Plus and Tinder Gold. Therefore, let's see how much revenue Tinder made from the paid users. This is the data about Tinder revenue in 2015, 47 million US dollar. The number keeps on increasing. In 2018, it was on the level of 805 million US dollar. And in 2019, 1,200 million US dollar. And the company revealed Tinder pulled of 1.2 billion US dollar in revenue. The company revealed Tinder pulled in 1.2 billion US dollar in revenue for 2019, a 43% increase from 2018. See such increasing trend, Match Group Incorporation, which is Tinder's parent entity, expects at least 2.3 billion in revenue for 2020. Moreover, pandemic makes more and more people use Tinder. Revenue at Tinder rose in July 2020 for the third straight month despite increased COVID-19 case numbers, thanks to its paid users. Overall, there are 57 million Tinder users around the world. In Indonesia, there are 4.1 million Tinder users, according to data at the end of the last year. The hike in activity has been growing dramatically since the start of the pandemic. Let's see how Indonesian Tinder users trend during pandemic in the next graphic. This is trend of Indonesian Tinder users during pandemic. The chats as much as 61%, swipe right 29%, and matched couple 28%. And see the increasing trend, Tinder is getting serious to expand business in Indonesia. It's discovered that the company opened job vacancies for local business people. It said Tinder is in Indonesia as part of the global expansion. Indonesia's situation is currently becoming a momentum. Demographic bonus brings Indonesia's digital market segment, and smartphone usage are dominated by millennials, supported by the rapid penetration of internet and smartphone usage. Digital services are becoming a lifestyle which is inseparable from daily activity. However, competition for similar services in Indonesia is quite crowded. Aside from Tinder, there are also other online dating apps which is Indonesian made. Let's see what are those in the next graphic. This is the most popular Indonesian local dating app. We have Ayo Nikah, Bunga Jodoh, Setipe.com, Pacar, and Ta'aruf ID. And some people, especially Indonesians, tend to see online dating as a bit dangerous and elusive. However, the proliferation of dating apps says otherwise, or rather suggests that many Indonesians indeed involve themselves in online dating. One thing to be underlined, whether you want to get a lasting company or just a fun time with someone for a while, still be careful on every decision you make. Back again to Tinder, we can see that Tinder is one of the successful dating applications that is able to gain tons of revenue through cultural shift happening in terms of dating. If Tinder can make it, so does Indonesian local dating app. Hope that Tinder's success story can inspire our local dating app to gain tons of revenue as well. And stay tuned on Market Lines because we'll be right back after the break.
Memutuskan untuk menurunkan BI 70 reverse repo rate sebesar 25 basis point menjadi 3,75%.
Adakah kemudian data-data lain atau hal-hal lain yang bisa diperhatikan dari investasi bodong ini, Mangi?
Satgas waspada investasi ya, ini telah menindaklanjuti sekitar 32 investasi bodong yang ada di Indonesia.
Hello, I'm Clara Antawijaya. I'm associate producer and news presenter on Market Headlines. As Market Headlines starts at 4:30 p.m., which is in line with the closing market, therefore we summarize market conditions only for you. And my job in here as a journalist, I give concise and accurate news for the audience. And also, being a journalist is not only a job for me, but it is also a passion.
Ya halo pemirsa, nama saya Mangi Teracong. Saat ini saya menjabat sebagai presenter dan juga associate producer. Saat ini saya membawakan program IDX Session Closing, di mana di program tersebut saya menganalisa isu-isu ekonomi yang menarik, baik dari luar negeri maupun juga dari dalam negeri. Tentunya, hingga saat ini saya masih terus belajar dan saya sangat menikmati profesi tersebut.
Our last segment at Jakarta Composite Index intraday movement. Earlier today, JCI was open at the level of 6,106.25. Then approaching the closing time of the session, the index was on the level of 6,118.68. Then the index was showing weakening trend by the second session closing time. Index was closed at the level of 6,104.32. In short, JCI went down 0.15%. And next, we're going to see the sectoral movement. Leading the dynamics of today's trading, we got agriculture as the leader of the strengthening trend that went up 2.51%. Mining went up 1.05%. Finance went down 1.27%. And basic industry went down 0.66%. Moving on to top gainers and top losers, here are the key highlights from today's trading session. ANTM went up 7.44% to the level of 1,950 per share. Prisa went up 7.51% to the level of 2,290 per share. Agro went up 7.25% to the level of 1,035 per share. And BBKP went up 19.51% to the level of 490 per share. Meantime, the top losers for today's trading week got BBCA went down 1.95% to the level of 34,000 rupiah per share. Bank Rakyat Indonesia or BBRI went down 1.15% to the level of 4,280 rupiah per share. Telkom went down 0.85% to the level of 3,510 rupiah per share. And Bank Mandiri went down 2.55% to the level of 6,700 rupiah per share. And next, we're going to see the intraday movement of rupiah towards US dollar. Open at the level of 14,146 rupiah was also showing strengthening trend towards US dollar. I was closed at the level of 14,119. In summary, rupiah went up 0.24%. Astra International is ready to allocate capital expenditure of around 20 to 30 trillion rupiah in 2021. The company emphasizes that the CapEx budget next year considers economic and business recovery expectation.
If the economic condition recovers, Astra International is ready to allocate capital expenditure of around 20 to 30 trillion rupiah in 2021. As stated by Tira Ardianti, Head of Investor Relations of Astra International, that the company usually allocated around 20 up to 30 trillion rupiah as capital expenditure every year, including for investment purposes. She also emphasized that the capex budget next year will indeed depend on economic and business conditions. The company is also actively reviewing future opportunities for acquisitions and business expansions, considering that Astra International currently has a strong and healthy balance sheet position. As it known, the company has made savings in operational costs and capital expenditures during the 2020 pandemic to maintain financial resilience. The capex budget in 2020 was cut by half to around 10 trillion rupiah. Meanwhile, until September 2020, the company has absorbed this capital expenditure of around 5 trillion rupiah. Routine capital expenditures that can be postponed or non-priority purposes are not issued. Meanwhile, capital expenditures that are needed for future business continuity are disbursed, such as the acquisition of Aviva shares in Astra Life and the acquisition of toll roads. From all sources, for IDX Channel.
To finance a number of projects in 2021, Adikarya revealed that capital expenditure budget for next year will be around 3 trillion rupiah.
To finance a number of projects in 2021, Adikarya is ready to budget for a capital expenditure of 3 trillion rupiah. According to Adi's Director of Finance, Agung Darmawan, the CapEx fund is not only used to finance several projects that are currently being worked on by the company, it will also be used to purchase equipment for the needs of its subsidiary. For this reason, the company estimates that the capex requirement in the next year will be around 2 to 3 trillion rupiah. Meanwhile, Agung explained that the source of funds comes from internal sources and banks, as well as corporate actions if necessary. Meantime, as of December 12, 2020, the company's new contract was 18.4 trillion rupiah. The management estimates that until the end of the year, the new contracts will be in the range of 20 trillion rupiah. In addition, ADI is pursuing a new contract growth of 20% for next year, reaching 24 trillion rupiah. From all sources, for IDX Channel.
The COVID-19 Handling Task Force revealed that the capacity for COVID-19 national testing this week declined to only 81.9% from its peak last week at 96.35%.
Spokesperson for the COVID-19 Handling Task Force, Wicky Adrian, revealed that the capacity for national testing for COVID-19 reached its peak last week at 96.35%. which was quite a high number. However, testing capacity this week decreased to only 81.9%, so it must be evaluated. We could say that the decline could be caused by various things, one of which was the recent simultaneous regional elections.
Hal ini tentu sangat disayangkan, mengingat kita sudah mendekati target dari WHO pada minggu lalu.
Regarding the decline in testing, the task force asked regional leaders to conduct an evaluation. Local governments were asked to sharpen the problems that occurred, which led to the decrease in the number of national testing.
Petakan hambatan yang terjadi dan segera selesaikan. Koordinasikan dengan Satgas di pusat apabila ditemukan kendala.
According to him, this can also be used as a lesson for regional leaders in efforts to deal with COVID-19. From all sources, for IDX Channel.
And step aside from market condition as coronavirus pandemic takes big role on current economic situation. And here it is an updated data about coronavirus globally. And the news close our market headlines today. Please enjoy our next program on IDX Channel, Your Trustworthy Economic, Business and Capital Market Channel. And one thing to be underlined, even though vaccines have arrived, it doesn't mean that we can ignore health protocol. Keep using your face mask, physical distancing, and washing your hands often, because it may take long time to get vaccines distributed. I'm Wicky Adrian. Have a nice evening and stay safe.
Prisa Sombo membawakan program berita News Screen yang menghadirkan informasi seputar ekonomi maupun juga bisnis dari dalam negeri.
Di tengah gejolak perekonomian yang terus berlangsung dan tidak menentu, pemerintah bersama berbagai pihak terus ingin meningkatkan optimisme